Evening, everybody. It's 5:47 on this Tuesday afternoon, and this is your closing comment video number 1747. Um, the leaders of the House and Senate, minority and majority, all had a very nice visit with the doddering old fool of a president, and they all came out and they basically lied about it. All of them. And the way that I know that is because I saw their lips moving. In any event, there is no resolution. According to the Democrats, of course, it's Speaker McCarthy. According to Speaker McCarthy, of course, it's the Democrats. So, what do you expect? I think that this will probably be somewhat overshadowed tomorrow. But if the CPI is bad news on top of this, we could have a pretty ugly morning. In any event, today was the second most boring day of the year. Maybe third, not really sure. Volume was minuscule, 4.1 billion. Advanced declines were 3 to 2 to the downside on the NYSE, and the Dow was down about 57, which is pretty much exactly what it was up yesterday. The NASDAQ was down 77 and change, or 0.63, and advanced declines were 4 to 3 over there. S&P was down about 19. The Russell was down 479, and the transports were down 57.64. The VIX was up about 73 cents, 1771. So still well within complacency. The chart on the screen is the gold, which is really holding up beautifully after the size move that we've had in this. We were as high as 2028 just a few days ago. We came back down to 2007, right into the teeth of this support, and we've had two higher high, higher low days. That's constructive. The silver looks the same way. These MACDs are trying to roll back to the upside, which would be great when you consider how it's worked off all of this without breaking to the downside. Just a solid move up and a consolidation across. So I'm very impressed with that. But of course, CPI and PPI are really dramatic market movers when they generally happen. I must have been remiss. I didn't see it on the economic calendar. The only economic news we had today was small business optimism, of which there wasn't any. It was 89 versus 90.1 last month, and this is a new 10-year low. Earnings, plenty of earnings. PayPal was down $4.17 this morning. This afternoon, it was down $9.61. So it did not bounce at all. Palantir, which was up $1.24 this morning, up 15%, closed up $1.81, which was 23.4%. DaVita, DVA, this is a dialysis company, and they had a nice beat. Stock closed 107.72. That was up 11.51 or 13%. Twilio's earnings were not bad, but the guidance was horrendous. This is a stock that was 457 at its high. Today it closed 47.60, down 8.40 or 15%. Airbnb was a beat, also bad guidance. I want to mention something. They can say whatever they want, really, at these companies. But I will tell you, as a consumer, Airbnb has let their hosts, or at the behest of the company, has gotten their hosts to add massive um, fees onto this. I looked at a place in Martha's Vineyard a couple of weeks ago. The place was priced, pretty right. I wanted to be there for a long weekend, and it was about $350 a day, which was about right for that size place in that location. There was a $750 fee on top of the $250 cleaning fee. So that's something that, I'll stay at a hotel before I'll double what I'm paying in order to be in a place who's going to charge me those kind of fees. In any event, um, the stock uh, had closed before the earnings at 126.65, currently trading 113.27. That's down 12.38 or 9.85%. The same way that people, will eventually get pissed at the airlines, this will happen the same way. People have other options. Win, a big beat and good guidance, solid numbers from Macau, solid enough that they have reinstated their dividend of a quarter. Unfortunately, the stock really isn't doing much. It had closed at 111.70, and that was 111.70 was down $1.06. On the news, it rallied up to 115.35, but currently is 112.08, and that is actually up just pennies off the close. Mobileye signed an agreement with Porsche. Mobileye, if you recall, I think was spun out of Intel, and it is for autonomous driving. And Porsche is putting their Supervision AV into their cars. The stock has basically had a range of 25 to 48. Hasn't been around all that long. But it went from 45.80 to 29.63 until a couple of days ago, at which point it turned on a dime and moved from 34 up to where it closed here at 40.07 in 3 days. So that's a pretty nice move. UAA, Under Armour, with a miss, closed 865, got down to 787. Last is 816. That's down 49 cents or 5.7%. And Novavax had a range today of 1136 to 952. 952 was up $2.07 at the close, up 28% on solid results for COVID and flu vaccines. So, first thing tomorrow, we have CPI, core CPI, we have Teva, Roblox, and Disney. I don't know if Disney reports before the open or after the close. As far as the commodities go, oil was higher, gold was higher, Bitcoin was higher. The Bitcoin had gotten pounded for 2,300 the day before. Let's just switch over here. Okay, nat gas was a little higher. The grains were all lower. Silver was up. Platinum was up. Palladium was up. Cattle, all of the meats were up. Cotton down 231. I showed you this morning, and this morning I think it was down about $1.50 or so. So a pretty ugly day there. And by the way, one of the things that Under Armour cited in their report was the fact that cotton import prices were up, and that was squeezing their margins. Look at the MACD though; looks like it's about to roll back to the upside, and I'll have to take a look at the ETF. I believe it's BALE, like a bale of cotton. Um, let's just check. The bonds were down 6/30. That's 3/16 of a dollar. For those of you who recall what fractions are, um, the dollar was up 24 cents at 101.39. As I said, uh, Bitcoin and Ethereum both up slightly after yesterday's debacle of a day. As you can see, this is yesterday with a high of 29,480 and a low of 27,365, closing pretty close to that low. Not much action here today. You see down 2,400 and up 405 doesn't really excite you. Okay, as I said, tomorrow, core CPI, CPI, and a couple of other minors. And I'll be back in the morning. Hope everyone had a good day.